Father Charles, last name Kerschen, K-E-R-S-C-H-E-N. According to a study conducted by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the rate of attempted suicide among gay and lesbian adolescents is 3 to 4 times higher than that among straight adolescents. According to some estimates, a homosexual person is harassed or assaulted in the USA about every 90 seconds. Insensitive church pronouncements only aggravate these conditions, such as the ones like KFBC has posted here in Hutchinson and a myriad of churches. There is a unitive aspect of sex, loving, caring, interpersonal sharing within the LGBT community. Some see homosexuality as a pathological disorder. Of course, that definition of what constitutes a pathological disorder is based only on religious beliefs, immaterial at best, and a contradiction in action. Likewise, while some may condemn practicing homosexuals as godless and sinful, contemporary lesbian and gay Christians recognize their self-acceptance as a grace moment and report that since coming out, they are happier, healthier, and closer to other people and to God. But then some Christians are all too willing to quickly judge, noting that they personally know what God thinks. Unfortunately, a lot of the information we get on this, to be gay or not, is biased. Political action groups know that misinformation is widespread, so groups that oppose gay rights measures work hard to convince us that homosexuality is not genetically determined, and groups that support gay rights measures work hard to convince us that it is. So what is the truth? Genetics have nothing at all to do with determining whether a group of people needs to be protected from discrimination in employment, housing, etc. Eye color is genetic, for example, but there are no laws against discrimination based on eye color. On the other hand, there are laws against discrimination based on religious affiliation, which is a choice. How should we decide which groups get legal protection? I believe there are 2 questions we need to ask ourselves in making this decision. One, is this group of people likely to experience widespread discrimination, being denied jobs or housing solely based on the one characteristic that sets this group apart? Yes. Number 2, is this discrimination unreasonable? Yes. People with blue eyes do not need legal protection because there is not widespread discrimination against people with blue eyes. There is widespread job discrimination against drug addicts, but they are not protected under the law because that discrimination is reasonable. Discrimination against African Americans, blacks, is both widespread and unreasonable, so we offer legal protection based on race. It has nothing to do with whether the characteristic is genetic or can be changed. And in the bathroom argument against trans people and their civil rights, there is the obvious implication that men in dress as transvestites are bathroom predators to be feared. Trans women are perceived to be sexual deviants. This bathroom argument is yet another in a series of red herring, anti-civil rights arguments. Various organizations fund bathroom bill ads where anti-discrimination laws on the basis of gender identity are being considered. Fear-mongering alone has been successfully winning in many jurisdictions. As a side note, I can say that in the year 2000, 50% of Catholic priests were said to be gay. And when I was in seminary, no one ever accosted me in the bathrooms or group showers. Social conservatives aren't really discussing trans people's use of public bathrooms, but instead are having an ancillary bathroom discussion to argue against ordinary equality for all people, because the fear-mongering to this point has been working. To me, this argument by social conservatives is about the oppressing yet of another minority population by changing the subject from ordinary equality to a discussion of public bathrooms, to masking discrimination by private businesses, by bringing in arguments of governmental intrusion or cost, or by threatening to get whomever removed from their position if they don't follow their religious ideology. Let's not make civil rights about this again as when Jim Crow states passed statutes severely regulating social interactions between the races. When different religious segments are trying to play secular politics with slippery slope scenarios, are we then headed for a regress where signs will be placed above water fountains, door entrances, exits, in front of public facilities, public restrooms, etc. We don't, or at least we shouldn't, base equality under the law on others' fears. What's being suggested here is that LGBT individuals are members of a suspect class because of their physical characteristics. Now, it's not right to discriminate against people because of the color of their skin, their religious creed, their veteran status, their disabilities, and/or their sexual orientation. It shouldn't be right to discriminate against people because of their sexual gender identity and expression. If you're afraid of giving equal rights to the LGBT, it's because you might incur eternal damnation, then you have no idea who God is. We are all children of God, and again we base civil rights on the idea that all individuals are part of humankind and thus deserve ordinary equality. Civil rights are human rights.
Thank you, Father Kerschen.
Excellent.